Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into the life and mission of a truly incredible figure, someone who managed to build this amazing bridge between the ancient spiritual traditions of the East and the modern thought of the West. We're talking, of course, about Swami Vivekananda.
Just 5 words. That's all it took to kick off a whole new chapter in how the world talked about spirituality. Sisters and brothers of America. I mean, can you imagine? It wasn't just a greeting. It was this wave of universal love that completely electrified the room. It was the world's first real introduction to a powerful new voice.
So picture this, it's Chicago, 1893. The event is the very first Parliament of World's Religions. A huge deal, right? It was designed to bring all these different faiths together to talk. And up on that stage stands this monk from India, and nobody in the audience has a clue who he is.
And the reaction? It was just unbelievable. Before he even got into the meat of his speech, this unknown monk gets a spontaneous 2-minute standing ovation. Think about that. Just the sheer sincerity and warmth in those first few words were enough to completely captivate this Western audience.
So you have to ask, right? How on earth did this wandering monk end up on a world stage, just mesmerizing everyone? It's an absolutely incredible story. And to really get it, we've got to go back. We need to trace his journey from being a young, questioning skeptic in Calcutta all the way to becoming a spiritual leader with a global mission. Okay, so his journey to that stage in Chicago, it's really a story of this profound personal transformation. And it doesn't start in some quiet monastery. No, it starts with this clash, really. A clash between a sharp, rational intellect and pure spiritual intuition. And at the very center of it all is the pivotal relationship he had with his master, a mystic named Ramakrishna Paramahamsa.
At first, the young Vivekananda, he was known as Narendranath back then, was, the ultimate skeptic. He was this brilliant guy, steeped in Western logic, and he just wasn't buying any of it. He challenged everything his master believed. He'd question idol worship, he'd mock the idea of actually seeing God, and he demanded cold, hard, rational proof for absolutely everything.
But here's the thing. Ramakrishna didn't argue back. He didn't debate. His response was just a calm statement of fact. He told Narendranath that he saw God more clearly and intensely than he saw the young man standing right in front of him. Imagine hearing that. That level of absolute certainty, combined with his incredible patience, just slowly started to chip away at all those intellectual walls Narendranath had built up.
But the real turning point? Well, it came from a place of desperation. Narendranath's family was facing financial ruin, and Ramakrishna told him to go and pray to the Divine Mother for help. But standing there, in front of the idol, something incredible happened. 3 times he tried to ask for money, and 3 times he found himself completely unable to do it. Instead, all he could ask for was knowledge, devotion, and renunciation. And right there, in that moment, the skeptic just vanished. He fully and completely accepted Ramakrishna as his guru.
So after his master passed away, Narendranath, now a monk, didn't just settle down in a monastery. No way. Instead, he set out on this epic 5-year journey, walking the entire length and breadth of India. His goal? To really, truly understand his country and its people from the ground up.
And you can just see the sheer scope of his travels here. This was no sightseeing tour. He lived with everyone, saints and scholars, kings and commoners. He was on a deep, investigative mission to grasp the real social, spiritual, and economic reality of British India.
And his commitment to this was just absolute. He traveled with next to nothing, really embracing the life of a true renunciate. His only possessions were his staff, a water pot, and get this, just 2 books. And those 2 books tell you everything you need to know. The Bhagavad Gita from the East and the Imitation of Christ from the West.
Now this long, hard journey of discovery, it wasn't just about collecting information. All of it, everything he had seen, everyone he had met, it was all building towards something. It was leading him to this single, powerful moment of revelation.
He finally reaches Kanyakumari, the very last stone of the Indian subcontinent. And what does he do? He swims across the rough waters to a solitary rock out in the sea. And there, for 3 whole days and nights, he meditates on the past, present, and future of India.
It was on that rock that his mission became crystal clear. He realized that trying to teach metaphysics to a starving population was, well, pointless. His mission couldn't just be about his own personal salvation. It had to be about the material and spiritual upliftment of the entire nation.
This new mission,
to uplift India is what propelled him towards the West. He figured it was a two-way street. He would go and share India's spiritual wealth with the world, and in turn, bring back practical, scientific knowledge to help his own country revive.
And once his mission was clear, things just started falling into place. The path to America opened up. His supporters, disciples, even several local kings, they saw his potential as a global messenger. They raised the money and pushed him to go to Chicago. It was actually the Maharaja of Khetri who suggested he take the name Vivekananda, which beautifully means the bliss of discernment.
On his way, he made a stop in Japan that had a huge impact on him. He was just blown away by their cleanliness, their patriotism, their industrial progress. He saw Japan as this perfect model for how an Asian nation could modernize without losing its identity, and it made him even more determined to urge his countrymen to break free from their bubble and learn from the rest of the world.
After his historic success in the West, Vivekananda didn't just stay there. He returned to India. But he came back as a completely different figure. He wasn't just a monk anymore, he was a national hero, and he had a clear, practical plan of action to reawaken his motherland.
Upon his return, the welcome he received was just tremendous. He traveled all the way from Colombo in the south to Almora in the Himalayas, delivering these powerful, fiery lectures, and his message was this incredible blend of spiritual inspiration and practical social reform, a call for national pride, education, and above all, service to the poor.
And he knew that words alone were not enough. He was a builder. He established the Ramakrishna Mission, an organization dedicated to social service that's still doing amazing work today. He founded Bellarmouth as the headquarters for a new kind of monastic order. His vision of a modern scientific India was so powerful, it even inspired the industrialist Jamsetji Tata to found what would become the country's premier science institute.
In India, he's remembered as the Bir Sannyasi, which translates to the heroic monk. And it fits perfectly, doesn't it? His legacy is this powerful symbol of spiritual strength, intellectual rigor, and profound patriotism. It makes total sense why his birthday is now celebrated as National Youth Day.
Ultimately, if you want to boil his entire philosophy down to one core idea, this is it. The quote essentially asks, "Where are you looking for God, leaving him in all the many forms right here in front of you? The person who loves all beings serves God." For Vivekananda, searching for some distant God was meaningless if you ignore the divine that's present in every single living person. Service to humanity, especially the poor and suffering, was the highest form of worship.
And that leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about, doesn't it? What if we saw every interaction, every act of kindness, not just as a good deed, but as a direct service to the divine? It's a thought that really challenges us to see the world and our role in it in a profoundly different light.